Hey y'all, well today on the channel we got thru hikers that are on their way to Katahdin and they're going to tell you how it's going in their own words. We got thru hikers that have turned around, they're going in the opposite direction, and we got thru hikers that are going in the opposite direction because they are done with Katahdin and they're going to tell us their story. So let's go ahead and dive right in and see what's going on. So we got Mongo and Riley. Mongo and Riley, of course, is the dog and fur parent team, and they are coming out of Pennsylvania. So they say they had a full week of rain between Bowling Springs and Port Clinton, but they are done with Pennsylvania. They said they had about 3 days near 100 degrees around Knife's Edge and coming through Lehigh Gap. So that is some tough terrain in there for 100 degrees. These two pictures they sent in here, that's near the top of the rock scramble there. It's coming out of Lehigh Gap, and they say, as a matter of fact, they waited till evening to do this. That's why the light's kind of low here, because it was so hot. So that is a way that hikers that will deal with the high heat during the day is a lot of times then they will just hike at night, or definitely hike more in the evenings than they do in the middle of the day. They'll just take a break. So kudos to them, and glad to see that they're doing well out there. And we got Sonny Jim. He's at mile 790. He was talking to some folks, and he said that he definitely was talking to them, and they were saying that there was still Noro going around Daleville, Virginia. So keep your eye out for that if you haven't made it through there, or if your Sobo or flip-flopper are going to be coming back through there. And he sends in this update from somewhere around Buena Vista, Virginia.
Hey there, Dino. Sonny Jim here on June 30th. It's a big day for me. I just hit the 800 marker, and I'm feeling pretty good about that, in spite of the heat and humidity. And this heat and humidity is just really sapping it out of me. So tomorrow I go into town, Buena Vista, to get some resupply, and then on to Waynesboro, and then into the Shenandoahs. So looking forward to that. And if anybody ever told you that Virginia is flat, it's not flat. Peace.
Mongo and Jubilee, they have made it out of Roxylvania, and they say their feet are very happy about that. But they say their feet won't miss the rocks, but their hearts will miss the people there. So apparently they ran into a lot of folks, and they just want to thank everybody up in Pennsylvania. And they go ahead and send in their update.
It's loud. Yeah. But I think I hear something. You hear something? I guess so. There's a border breakdown. Oh, we gotta get a picture now.
Okay, they did all the editing for that. The border breakdown is not my editing. So, but anyway, good to hear that they are done with Roxylvania. And then Zuko has made it to Killington, Vermont. She ran into OG in Boston while she was in that area. Unfortunately, her hiking partner, Katera, is gotten off trail and had to go home for some personal reasons. So she is not quite ready to hit the whites in New Hampshire by herself. So she's decided to flip back down and do a Sobo there from Harper's Ferry back south for a little bit. She says Virginia feels like coming home, because it is. That's her home state. And she says that's where she lived. So she is hopefully will get some support there, and then get back on trail once she finishes that. Get on back up and head on through New Hampshire. And then we got Idiot Runner, Hickory Nut, Moose Liver, Burger Man, and Snake Man. They have made it to Wardsboro, Vermont, and they got there for the 4th of July and actually got to participate. They were on a hiker float, or a whatever you want to call this. When I was growing up, we had these huge floats. Now everybody just uses a tractor trailer or something like that, but we used to have these actual floats, so that's why I call it floats. But anyway, they got to be part of the parade on a hiker float. And then we hadn't heard from Tie-Dye in a while, but he's our trail maintainer and thru hiker out there. He sends in his update.
Greetings and good morning, Ramdino. My trail name is Tie-Dye, and I am in Massachusetts on my Nobo thru hike journey. I spent the last night at the Upper Goose Pond cabin. and that was pretty nice. Caretaker was awesome. I really enjoyed staying there. And then just a few hours ago, I visited the Cookie Lady. Another great experience, not to be missed when you're hiking through here. And the weather, the temperature has cooled down quite a bit. Much nicer hiking today. I'm really enjoying hiking through this section of Massachusetts. Take care. Goodbye.
And Tick Magnet, he's been updating us as he finishes his through hike, and he's in the Kinsman. He sends his update.
Hey Ramdino, Tick Magnet here, and I'm in the Kinsman's right now. Ooh, at any rate, I'm trying to get done in one day, but I have the bare minimums to stay overnight if I need to. So at any rate, I had to skip the Kinsman's earlier because I had hut reservations in the presidentials. So I'm back filling in this gap here. But after today or tomorrow, I'll be all the way complete to Mount Washington, plus 134.5 miles in Maine. So I'll be down to 197 miles left after I finish the Kinsman's. Thanks again for keeping us all in touch. Always enjoy your show. Thanks.
And of course, we got AlphaGal and Metro. They sent in their update with, of course, Metro doing the mime color commentary in the background.
Hey Ramdino, look at this. We are now at mile 499 to go. We're working our way up Mount Killington. Weather is good today. It's humid but not horribly hot. Looking at afternoon thunderstorms, so we're going to scoot over the top here real quick and keep moving on. Yeah, 499 to go. Really cool. The miles just keep melting away. Loving it. See y'all up the trail.
He said that it's getting really close now. It's starting to feel close with only 499 miles to go. They've actually seen a few subo hikers while they've been out there, and they did say that recent rains had enhanced Vermud's muddiness. And then Straps, he is in New Hampshire, probably in Maine by now. He sends in his update.
Hey Ramdino, Straps here. Hope everybody's having a happy 4th. We just passed the 1900 mile mark. We'll be heading into town for fireworks today. We are done the whites. Should be in Maine by tomorrow. Thanks for everything you do, Ramdino. See you next week.
And we can't forget about Luscious, who's been updating us about every week. He's in his update.
Hello, Ramdino. Luscious here from the top of Moxie Bald. And it's really a beautiful day out. It's in the low 80s. I had to zero yesterday because it was close to 90 degrees. But guess I'll hit Monson tomorrow, and then it's on to the 100-mile wilderness. Take care.
And the other 2/3, OJ and Boston of the OG Boston Straps Trio, they sent in their update.
Hello, Ramdino. It's OG Boston. We're on top of Mount Cube right now in New Hampshire, close to the 1800 mile mark. Up to this point, water looks like it's okay. If you plan ahead, you're not going to die of thirst. And the weather's been fantastic. Everybody just keep on trucking and beware of the privy at Smarts Mountain. See ya.
So we got some hikers that have finished out there. Congratulations to them. The most important hiker that has finished out there with their hike, of course, shares half my DNA, and that's Chance Man, aka Ramdino Jr., although he will not go by that. He goes by Chance Man until he gets something else. But he has finished his El Camino hike. So he didn't do the whole thing. He did about 200 miles on it. But kudos to him. He is on to his next venture in, can't remember the town now, Palermo or something like that, or Palomino. But anyway, it's in Spain. He's going to run with the bulls. So y'all be praying for him. So some finishers we got that are on the AT, and that's Glam Girl and Hunger Pain. So they have summited on June 26th. They started on February 28th, and they were summit numbers 31 and 32. So that kind of gives you an idea of how many NOBO have finished as of the June 26th. And they sent in their update.
Hi Ramdino, Hunger Pain and Glam Girl here.
We completed our through hike on June 26th, our 119-day adventure at the summit of Katahdin, and blessed to have friends and family join us for the final ascent. Some updates. Basically, Vermont was definitely very muddy and not a ton of views, so we were a little disappointed with that, but overall that was fine. Loved New Hampshire. New Hampshire was great. Item of note, we did do the river ford across the west branch of the Peabody River, and we did so because we checked the USGS gauge, and it was at 1:30 that morning, and it was a safe crossing if you're comfortable with creek crossings. So that was all good. State of Maine, which we're Mainers, so absolutely loved Maine. Our favorite, we're a little biased, but loved it. The lakes and the rivers were just beautiful, and the mountains and the views. But kind of a warning for everyone out there is there aren't many bridges in Maine, so you really have to pay attention to weather. Some of the river fords can be difficult and impossible with heavy rain and dangerous. We actually got stuck between the east branch and the west branch of the Piscataquis River. Us and another 14 hikers, and then Glam Girl and I and 4 others decided to bushwhack out, which was about a 3-mile bushwhack out so that we didn't have to wait for the water to drop. And we hit logging roads and got a ride to Shaw's. So, and then we did have to do a detour around Little Wilson, Big Wilson, and Long Pond stream as well. When we entered the 100-mile wilderness. After that, it was fine, but you really have to pay attention to the heavy rains and the water levels. And the bugs were significant, but overall, just blessed to have done this through hike with my daughter. And we were really super happy, and now we're back at it, doing other things to kind of get back in the rhythm of working out. But thanks again for all you do. I mean, you made this through hike possible for us by telling us that we could get out there on February 28th when we started. So we're really thankful for that. I know many others are as well. And the amount of trail work that was done by volunteers is just beyond comprehension. We're just so blessed to have all the trail work for the entire length of the trail, but specifically Hurricane Helene. The amount of work that was done there was incredible. Thanks again, and we're definitely going to keep watching your videos. We really love watching them, and you do a great job.
Summit day.
So they are on to next adventures, getting trained up for that. He did indicate that hikers need to be aware of the last 150 miles of the AT northbound leading to Katahdin have many river fords that can be impossible to ford if you get a decent amount of rain coming in. So be careful with that. They also had to detour around Little Wilson, Big Wilson, and the Long Pond stream there. Had to do a trail road walk there to avoid some high water levels on their first day in the 100-mile wilderness. So he just urges everybody to be cautious about the water in there. He did say the only other complication was mosquitoes and blackflies and deer flies through that area. So yeah, that's definitely a complication up there. But we're going to hear a little bit about the blackflies here in just a minute from Spineless Cougar. But Glam Girl and Hunger Pain indicated that it was a lifetime adventure for his daughter, and they were thrilled to be part of that together. They greatly appreciate all the trail maintainers out there that have just made this possible from the class of 2025. So congratulations to them. That is awesome. They also had Rabbit finish. So Rabbit updated us a few times, and so thanks a lot to him. Rabbit, congratulations to you. And then for the last time, an update, we have the incredible, not to be left out, not to be last, and that is Luscious. Take it away, Luscious.
Hello, Ramdino. Luscious here for the last time, I guess. I've just climbed down off the summit of Katahdin, which was totally socked in, and, well, it just looks like back up there. Had a beautiful hike this morning, and I'm done. Can't believe it. Thanks for everything you do, Ramdino. Take care.
Congrats to Luscious there and all those people that finished. So Luscious is kind of our special guy. He's a special guy, all right. But Luscious, as I mentioned last week, so Luscious was one of the folks that went through the Woods Hole weekend training for Appalachian Trail thru hiker wannabes. And so we're going to be talking a little bit more of that in some upcoming episodes. But in any case, it was so good that how that worked out for him, and to see, for as far as I know, he's our first alumni from 2025, or actually 2024 Woods Hole weekend that's finished. So congratulations once again. Hey, before we get to news, I want to give a huge shout out to Tupac. So Tupac was a 2024 attemptee, didn't make it all the way to Katahdin, reported here a couple times, but right now he's going through something. I just want to say, Tupac, we're thinking about you. I'm thinking about you. You got this, man, and I'm praying for you. And all you folks out there that are like mind, like me, I'm sure that Tupac would appreciate your prayers, or even those that are not, your good vibes, or anything you can send him his way. It's unspoken at this time, but Tupac, we're thinking about you. I'm praying for you. All right, let's get on to the news. Spineless Cougar, our trail angel maintainer up in Vermont, he has sent in some stats as usual. He also indicated they had a big hailstorm that came through that were like dropping like gumball size hail, which if you're caught out in it, that's a lot. He said the hikers told him that it was like it covered the ground in white. So I don't know how you get out of the, if you're in the middle of the woods, I don't know what you do about that. But in any case, if you got caught in that or been caught in one of the woods, let me know what you did about that. That could be pretty dangerous. He did say that he's not had any sobo come through yet, but he feels like they're only a week or two away from getting to him. And then likewise, he hasn't had the Nobo bubble get to him yet either. He thinks that's about a week or two. So we're going to have a clashing of the Nobo Sobos pretty soon there. So a couple stats that he had from this past week. The heaviest pack was 44 pounds, and the lightest pack he had was 13.6. That is quite a bit of difference. That's almost 20 pounds and a half. Matter of fact, that's 20.4 pounds and a half. What could be the difference between those two packs that folks are carrying there? The earliest start date he had coming through was March 16th, and the latest was May 25th. None of those folks had any cases of Noro in that group that came through on July 4th. So he takes Spineless Cougar. He has folks fill out a sheet if they want to. They don't have to. It's not part of his trail magic, but in any case, it gives us some good stats of how folks that are coming through there. And then sadly, we lost one of our community who was actually a thru hiker this year. I had a report sent to me that the Front Royal Virginia Police Department reported death of a thru hiker in a local hotel pool there. It was 38-year-old Michael Glass from Dayton, Ohio. He was found floating in the pool. It's kind of weird because he was found floating in the pool, but then the police got there and got him out of the pool and started giving him CPR. I don't know why whoever called 911 didn't get him out of the pool and start doing CPR or something. But in any case, that's a reason why hikers out there on the trail, y'all need to know CPR. You need to be certified in it. It doesn't take much. You can do that for free through the Red Cross. But you never know. It could be a pool. It could be a lightning strike. It could be just somebody passes out on the trail and they've had some type of issue. But anyway, the police department, they don't feel like it. They feel like it's a medical issue. They don't feel like it was an OD or drunk or anything like that, because they didn't see any of that paraphernalia around, but he did pass away. They got him to the hospital and they continued CPR, and then he passed away from his injuries the next morning. So they don't do CPR all the time, for overnight. So apparently he maybe not had brain activity, but apparently he had enough life in him to get through the morning, and then he passed away from his injuries. So folks, learn CPR out there, look out for each other, don't swim alone. Yeah, very, very sad. Hearts go out to him and his family. And then the main river levels, they have come down a little bit. They hadn't come down to the medium level. So the gauge that we've been tracking there to Piscataquis think I got that right. The Piscataquis River is getting close to the medium levels, and so I'm not exactly sure if that means Daisy, you okay? That's Daisy. I don't exactly sure if that means that it's at a fordable level right now. However, if you folks that are out there and you have been through that river crossing here lately, leave a comment down below and let me know if it's crossable right now. And then the ATC reported of a bear getting into an unintended hiker food drop-off in the 100-mile wilderness. So that was at mile 2,141 there at Joe Mary Road. That is a common place for people to put out resupplies for people that are trying to go through the 100-mile wilderness without taking all their food. Of course, that's an issue if you've planned on that food drop and now it's not there anymore. So don't know if that was a normal shuttle person that did that. I wouldn't think so, because they would know better than just to put it in the ATC indicated it was in a bucket. So they would know better than just to put it in a bucket that the bears could get or something. So it can't be somebody that knows what they're doing there, or else they wouldn't have put it in just a bucket, something the bears could get. So think about that before you're putting out trail magic, before you're not putting out resupplies for people. Now somebody's either having to go all the way through the 100-mile wilderness without that resupply, or I don't know what they're doing. So leave a comment if you've been through the 100-mile wilderness and you know what somebody would do after Joe Mary Road, if they would be able to get food somewhere else. Hopefully they're hiking with a group that maybe they could rely on each other. I don't know. Wouldn't want to be that person bumming food off other people. And then Whispers, our northern correspondent up in New Hampshire and Maine, he says they're finally putting in some bog bridging there on Mount Success. So apparently that's a place that's needed, a swampy area, particularly when it rains. And so good to hear that. And then he also says that blackfly season up here should be cresting this week, and then their numbers should be dropping slowly down. So that is good information. Thanks a lot for that, Whispers. A lot of info there for you folks. Go over here and check out the info I put out in my previous videos. A lot of that is still pertinent. Some of it's time sensitive, but as always, appreciate you, and we'll see you out there. So just want to say Tupac. Cut.